Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Danial Ali. My roll number is 20TE68. So this is our lab task given by our Sir Jamil, the DSP lab task. First of all, I would like to perform the task number 1 of lab 4. So it shows here a convolution graph. As you can see here that we have assigned the variables of x input which we have entered signal x and h in variable for the input enter signal h, by which we will put some values in these variables. After entering these values for the signal, we will be shown a specific graph for that. Now we have put the title over here for the both inputs, which will show an exact output of our the graph, which will be after running it. So it defines that this is actually a variable convolution of 1 or 2. 1 or 2 means that we have signed the two variables which is shown over here. So as you can see, after running that, we will be given a graph. So here is the graph. After running, it will be shown in the command window as I run over there. So here it goes. After running in the command window, as you can see, after putting the value of x over here, that is our two bracket 2 3 4 5 2 3 here and 4 and just a second 5 and 5. And now, and after putting the other signal and signal h, so we will be shown that here that putting the values bracket just a second 1 2 3 4 and 5 bracket closed. Now after running that, here you will see a graph of the input signals, the x input signal x h and output of the both signal. After multiplying these, so we will get a discrete values for both of them. Yeah, you can see there that both we have been seeing all the graph. After running the exact values, we have the signal, the discrete signals pointing from 0 to 8, but with the points we have assigned in the for example x is 1 2 3 4 until 5 it goes on, and same for the h input signal, even 1 2 3. And here our lab task number 1 ends. And now we move on to the convolution flip side. Convolution flip side it defines four variables x1 t1 x2 t2, where t is the time period over here, and by determining the duration of the resulting convolution, we have to determine that the duration of how much it time takes to give a result of the convolution signal. By now, for the flip method, we will perform the convolution using flip and slide method. As you can see, as we are given the title over here for convolution using flip and slide method. Slide method is for that it will show in the upper direction and lower direction our signal. So over here we have defined the two variables, x label and y label. X label for the time and y label for the amplitude, as you can see here. But when you show the result, you can see the our result of the discrete signals by through flip and slide method. So after running that, we will show that after now for moving on to the task 2 of the lab 4, which we have which is also our convolution flip and slide method code. For this we have defined the two inputs over here, as you can see it over here, the two inputs t1 and x1. t1 of -1 to -1 to 1, and x1 for exponent to t minus t1 power 2. After running performing this convolution of this flip and slide method, we will be shown the result. As you can see over here that our graph is increasing through first is the input signal x, second is the input signal h, and the third one, as you can see it over here, is the convolution using flip and slide method. As you can see, this graph is growing from -3 to 0 to 3 signal, 3 number signal, which we have put over there for the time period with a pause of 0.5 second. That's why you can see moving slightly and growing our graph. So Here our graph is complete over here, and as it's shown in time and amplitude increasing by time. So now moving on to the my convolution. My convolution method is that the which we, in which we define a function of the lengths that we will we have given the different lengths of n by b, and we have n of x of 1 plus n of h, which we assigned earlier, the x variable and h variable, and n by e is an x length in which we have already tell that we will define the length of these functions by using the formula y is equal to convolution x of h semicolon. So now now moving on to task 3 lab 4, which we have earlier we did the backend code for the convolution. Now we will perform in the task number 3. As here you can see the x variable is defined from 1 to 8, 1 minus 1 0 7 9 minus 1 4 2 minus 5 minus 1 8, and nx is minus 4 ratio 4. So after running, as I told you earlier that my convolution, after running we have given the title of the two, what kind of graph it will be shown. The title response of the system to the input. It will show the response of the input signal after running it. As you can see over here that this is our input signal response. The input signal x which is already shown of the values of which we have put and input signal h, and of the title which we have told about the response of that system. Here you can see the graph of the response system which is inversely equal to both each other, shown in a discrete form of the signal. Now moving to task 4 of lab 4. In this task we have assigned the two variables h and x. As you can see here we have given the two subplots to each variable by giving the different titles of the input signal, yani that it will show input signal graph, then the impulse response graph, or the output signal graph, and after these graph it will show the shifted input signal, of that the input signal, and output signal for the shifted input. That it will show the output of that, the shifted input we get after input signal, it will show the output of that. Now as you can see here that this is our first over is the shifted input signal, and second is our output of that input signal for shifted input. The shifted input which we have put earlier is the exact is we have get the output of that other signal over here, as you can see it. So these are the labs of the these are the lab or task of the lab number 4. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.